السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، مساكم الله بالخير. تحتفل منظمة اليونسكو التابعة للأمم المتحدة في هذا اليوم 21 من شهر فبراير كل سنة باليوم العالمي للغة الأم. وقد التقيت مجموعة من الإخوة الزملاء هنا في المملكة المتحدة بريطانيا، وسألتهم عن مدى أهمية تعلم اللغة العربية وكونها اللغة الأم. بالمناسبة هؤلاء الإخوة لا يتحدثون اللغة العربية كونهم نشأوا في هذه البلاد أو كونهم هاجروا إليها على كبر، ولكنهم أجمعوا على رأي واحد. ترى ما هو الأمر الذي أجمعوا عليه؟ دعونا نترك الميكروفون لهم واستمتعوا بهذه المقابلات. السلام عليكم.
Okay, my knowledge of Arabic, my spoken Arabic is really weak, but really it's my ardent desire to learn Arabic. Honestly, I would give my kidney up to learn Arabic, and it hurts me so much when I see people actually abandoning their language or using a slang version purposely. And it really does hurt a lot, because it's my desire that when I read Quran, for example, I want to know exactly what I'm saying. Unfortunately, I'm at the stage where I'm reading and then translating in my head. So my thinking process is in English. I want that to change, and like I said, I would give my kidney up right now to do that. So I want to be able to read the Quran and think in Arabic, so while I'm reading I know exactly what I'm saying.
The initial reason why I wanted to study the Arabic language is so that I can understand truly what the Quran's meanings, and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He wants from us. And no doubt that is probably the most important language for every Muslim, because if it's important to learn your mother's language to communicate with your mother, then your connection and your communication with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is even more important.
I guess the main reason I started learning Arabic from a Muslim perspective was to basically understand the Quran more and build a closer relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Quran. Because as we know, as Muslims, this was the language the Quran was revealed in, and it's been made very easy for us to memorize, and it's memorized by millions of people, even kids across the world, and no other language really compares to it in terms of gaining extreme closeness to Allah. Like, I've even read English translations of the Quran, and when you read the actual meaning from Arabic to English, it is very beautiful, but even sometimes I'm reciting ayahs from the Quran in Arabic and it still touches me more than it does reading English, which is my own language.
To be honest with you, most of the time it's very difficult, and I cry not because the Imam is crying. I cry because I'm sad that I can't understand what he's saying, and that's what hurts me the most.
والله ما كنا يعني قبل تعلم اللغة العربية كنا غافلين. لا، في الحقيقة لا نفهم الإيمان، لا نفهم تذوق القرآن، ولم نكن نفهم حلاوة تلاوة القرآن. لم نكن نذوق ذلك إلا بعد تعلم اللغة العربية.
As for non-Arabic native language speakers, this sounds very funny, because you really want to understand why the Imam is crying, how he is feeling. So because of this, it motivates you for you to go and learn, so that you can excel in the Arabic language and know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying and why the Imam is crying in this
If
manner.
you don't know Arabic fluently, the Imam has already moved on to the next ayah before you've actually got a grasp of what the Imam is actually saying. So it's good to know, if possible, each word, each ayah word by word, because then he's following it like a story. For example, some of the stories in the Quran, for example, with Ibrahim, peace upon him, and his son, this is one of my favorite parts in the Quran, and there's probably only 2 ayahs I know in the translation too, but if I knew everything, every single ayah in English, this would take it to a whole nother level. Really.
Okay, firstly, I don't want to prejudge anyone, but I think generally speaking, in a general sense, they think somehow that their children will have a better future or they'll have a better status if they speak another language. And if that is the case, it's really, really sad. And it's very heartbreaking to think that, or to know that people are actually doing that with their own children. Preserving your language is so important. I mean, if you look at the English language, it's taught throughout schools again and again. We have to learn classical English as well, part of the education system. And it's sad to see that people are running towards eroding their own language as opposed to clinging on to it. And this, I mean, for me, it's from the heart. I mean, Arabic, A, it's the language of the Quran. B, is the language of all the prophets. C, it's the language of Jannah. I mean, everything is a plus. So why on earth would you leave something so perfect, so beautiful, abandon it for another way? A mother speak to her children in English, and I could tell that English was not her native language because of the heavy Arabic accent. Also, there was like an American hint to it, so it was clear that she was emulating words and phrases that she learnt herself from American movies, for example. And it really hurt me because I thought to myself, if this is the future generation, then within 1 or 2 generations, let's say even 3 generations, Arabic will be non-existent there, or they will have corrupted their own language. And like I said, it's not unintentional, it's actually intentionally doing that, whether they want status, whether they want better. How can you think that your child would be better off learning another language? No disrespect to any other language, because every language has beauty, but the most beautiful language by far, even if you multiply the others together infinitely, it cannot compare to Arabic.
MashaAllah. My opinion is that if we can exchange, we will take it now. Like if they can give me the knowledge that they have, which is the Arabic language, and I give them what I have, which is the English language, I will definitely do it. Because the Arabic language is the language that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent our guidance. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you with that, you should acknowledge and know that blessing and take it with 2 hands. The English language is good, don't get me wrong. You can use it to benefit, but it is only in this world, you understand? Like in the Arabic language is what you need first and foremost. Because without guidance, the person, he doesn't know where he is going. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends you that guidance, you have to know what that guidance is. And where is that guidance? Is in the Arabic language. So if you know the Arabic language, this is the most important thing. And then after, you can do anything you want to do. But keep hold of the Arabic language which you have. Yes.
I would say that it's okay to learn English or any other languages. However, keeping a good foundation with Arabic is very important as well. Like I said, with the Quran, we don't want to forget, how to actually speak Arabic or how to recite properly. Because, for example, when you're praying, you're going to achieve a lot more khushu if you actually understand the ayahs of the Quran. Especially, for example, during Taraweeh, when the Taraweeh prayers are very, very long, it's going to be a lot easier to achieve khushu and feel close to Allah, especially during the month of Ramadan. So this is why mainly, because to understand the ayahs of the Quran.
كما قلت يستبدلون الذي هو أدنى بالذي هو خير. يعني لا يوجد ومن أصدق من الله حديثا. والذي يريد أن يتعلق بالله سبحانه وتعالى أسرع طريق إلى ذلك تعلم اللغة العربية والإحسان في ذلك والتعمق فيه وليس الهروب منه والعياذ بالله.
وفي الختام، ربما لا تكون أنت بحاجة لأن تسمع مثل هذا الكلام للتأكيد على أهمية اللغة العربية كلغة ولكن غيرنا ربما هو بحاجة إلى أن يستمع من داخل المملكة المتحدة الإنجليزية لمثل هذا الخطاب. لذلك احتسبوا الأجر على الله وحولوا هذا المقطع وانشروه بين كل من يحتاج إليه. ولا تنسوا بأن تستمتعوا بأوقاتكم، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.